This is Tony. Chances are you have no idea who this guy is. But over 28 years ago, the entire city of Seattle was brought to a standstill for 11 hours by a man armed with nothing but sunglasses and a samurai sword. See, it took more than 100 cops and the entire police force to stop him. And that's just one of the many crazy police encounters I gotta show you, with each one getting crazier as we go. And first, one guy did something so stupid, he's facing extra time behind bars.
Suspect doing some breakdancing here in the middle of the roadway, and he is definitely playing games with officers now, putting on quite a show.
Yeah, the cops told him to get down, and he did. Man, this guy was just dumb. But our next suspect was in a hurry, because this dude was doing 63 miles per hour on an e-scooter. That's more than 4 times the legal speed limit. And, well, he figured this might be his best shot at making it on time. He was wrong.
But he's going nowhere now.
Because not only did he end up losing his job as a mechanic, but he also tested positive for meth and spent a month in jail. This guy was down bad. But there's one suspect that was down even worse. Because after stealing a car and driving recklessly down the freeway, this man really thought ditching the vehicle and making a run for it was a smart move, only to hide in the stupidest place possible.
Do it, stop. Oh, come on, guys, he's right there. The officer's running right by him. They're going right by him. Angie, our pilot today, talking on O2, trying to tell the officers that this suspect is right there. Oh my goodness, I just feel so bad for those officers making their way back now.
What the hell? That's gotta be the crappiest game of hide and seek I've ever seen. Man, with a helicopter overhead, you'd think criminals would be more careful. But instead, we got people like our next criminal. The man was trying his best to get caught. This is 40-year-old Dominic Desier, who led police on a wild chase through LA, all while rocking a Joker mask and waving a chainsaw from the roof. And when the cops finally catch up to him at Venice Beach, he starts running around the boardwalk, burying strangers in the sand and giving out high fives.
Another day in California, Venice Beach, man.
And look, wanting to get caught is one level of crazy, but it gets way more twisted than that. Because Wilfredo Garcia Jr. loved live streaming so much, it sent him to jail.
Police say a fugitive's post on social media led them right to him. Officers say that Instagram video is the reason they caught up with him.
Yeah, this guy just exposed himself for clout. And just 9 days later, the cops caught up with him and arrested his ass, charging him with reckless driving and fleeing and eluding the police. Man, you messed up big time, Will. But Will didn't mess up as big as this 7-year-old did. Because Preston Scarborough wanted to skip Sunday service so bad, he was willing to sin a little if that's what it took.
That 7-year-old Plain City boy who tried to avoid going to church by escaping in the family car. It happened last Sunday morning. This is the view from a Weber County Sheriff's patrol car as the deputy followed the boy, unaware of just how young that driver was. It was a wild ride, but the little guy never went over 35 or 40 miles an hour. He led deputies around town, including the high school, and before driving back home, this is what it looked like when he got into the driveway.
Yeah, little man wasn't backing down from anybody, not even the cops.
And at what point did you know you were in trouble? Because it seemed like you understood when you got out and ran like hell. Like, at what point did you know you were in trouble?
When I heard the sirens.
You heard sirens. So you got grounded, right?
Yeah.
And what else happened to you?
No video games, no TV for a week.
So even after all that, Preston got a slap on the wrist and walked away with a fresh new set of wheels on The Ellen Show. Damn, this kid got off lucky. But there are a lot more crazy moments coming up. Like this guy who stole not 1, but 2 police cars in under an hour. The man who tore through his town in a tank. Or this real-life samurai who held up the entire police force for 11 hours with nothing but sunglasses and a sword. Yeah, we'll get to all that and more. But first, we gotta talk about the time one guy attempted to lose his wanted level in real life. Because after stealing a car and flooring it down the highway, his getaway had gassed out.
And he is opening the door. And now he is pushing the car. Maybe it's in neutral. He looks like he's waving for assistance here. Okay, and now you have some construction worker on the 10 helping. So this is, like I said, each and every chase is different.
And when he finally ran out of options, the dude made his worst decision yet.
This is a 7-Eleven parking lot. Maybe he's going to go into the 7-Eleven, and he is. A very bizarre end to a police chase there. Oh, he has left, and now he is running yet again. And so it looks like he maybe took some hydration with him from the 7-Eleven as he mounts this police chase there on foot.
What the the hell? This man went through all that to buy himself some prime? He wanted to get arrested. Jesus, bro's off his meds. Do you think that was a product placement? But hey, going too far is just what old heads do. Because this guy led the police on the weirdest chase in history in a stolen golf cart.
Shirtless, shoeless, with a dog on his lap, led police on a chase winding through valley streets and sometimes on sidewalks, topping out at about 19 miles an hour. At one point, officers attempted to lay down a spike strip, but he avoided it and was able to putter off.
But eventually, his getaway was way over par. Because by the end of the night, he was arrested with a dog dodging all charges.
Don't drink, don't do drugs, be a better person.
Did this grown-ass man just say that after leading a police chase with a dog on his lap in a golf cart? Is that what just happened?
Leave the dog.
All right, let's just move on. But look, he knew exactly what he was getting himself into, all right? Not every criminal could say the same, because this police chase ended up in the craziest way possible, and it was all because of some road rage.
A 12-car state trooper chase of a minivan on the New Jersey Turnpike at rush hour. Newscopter 7 overhead for much of the pursuit. It ended when patrol cars surrounded the vehicle and forced the driver to slow down.
Police now say they pursued the car because the driver pointed a gun at another man in a fit of road rage.
Now, I could see someone getting a little carried away after some auto-aggression, but what I'll never understand is this next woman, because she did something so disrespectful, it had cops from 3 different counties coming after her. See, back in 2009, officers responded to a call about a domestic disturbance at 6 a.m. And when they finally showed up, instead of her acting like a normal person and, getting out of the car, she decided to ram her car into the police 3 times. So immediately after that, the chase was on.
Turns around. Oh, now this is not good. She's going to come right towards officers. Right there. Look at this. Threads the needle.
Little Miss Mayhem even serves the cops some donuts.
It's almost like who's pursuing who here. She is most definitely playing a game of cat and mouse.
And if that wasn't enough, she was hitting speeds of over 100, going the wrong way down the highways, and waving at noose choppers. And look, doing donuts around the cops is really disrespectful. But riding a horse down a highway? That's a whole nother level. See, this is Adam Hollingsworth, aka the Dreadhead Cowboy. And let's just say, he's a bit of a character. Yeah, because when he wanted to raise awareness for a kids' safety movement, he decided the best way to do it was to cause absolute chaos during rush hour.
State police say the Dreadhead Cowboy met with Chicago police and state police in early September to get approval to do this. That request was denied, and today, he did it anyway.
Bro really said permission denied, challenge accepted. And in 2020, Adam get it up big time, riding down the Dan Wright Expressway and yelling,
Kids lives matter, y'all.
And this pissed off the state and animal welfare so much that he faced 6 charges, was sentenced to a year in jail, and lost custody of the horse. Damn, this dude horsed around and found out. But I can't say the same for this Florida man, because he finessed the cops so hard, he almost got the entire department fired. Yeah, see what started out as a mental distress call turned into a real-life case of GTA. I mean, the dude straight up stole a police cruiser from a parking lot and led the cops on a multi-county chase. But it gets even crazier than that, because after they pitted him off the road the first time, he just hopped out and stole another police cruiser like it was nothing.
That suspect was able to get away the second time because the door of the cruiser was unlocked with the keys inside.
He was on the police microphone screaming into it. And when we pulled him out of the car to handcuff him, he still had the microphone in and was screaming about the FBI and security clearance and Homeland Security.
Yeah, that actually happened. And when I was researching the guy, I found out that he believed he had permission to steal the cars through mental telepathy. He hadn't slept in nearly 24 hours and had dabbled into Heisenberg's special, if you know what I mean, earlier that day.
Say CIA, DEA, Herbert, Paul, Will, Ricky, Courtney.
I hear you, man, but don't get it twisted. Because sometimes criminals flex a little too hard and they end up losing everything.
But what made this different was what the suspected perps were throwing out the window, fistfuls of apparently stolen dollars.
Yeah. See, after hitting up a Bank of America in Santa Clarita and running off with 40 racks, these guys decided to make their getaway a giveaway.
Bundles of cash, thrown from the back seat as the car raced through town. People rushed into the streets to scoop up the money. Look at that again. They're throwing money out the window. What is this? Robin Hood?
Aw, man, that's Robin from the Hood. And this went viral for all the wrong reasons. Because while they were circling around town making it rain, hundreds of bystanders started flooding the streets. Yeah, those people were trying to grab some liquid assets for themselves. That's illegal. But eventually, it rained a little too hard. Because by the end of it, they were broke and slapped with a first-degree robbery charge. Damn, that's a fat L. But Bernice Wilson took an even fatter L. Because he was hard for some timber and ended up getting burned. See, Bernice was down on his luck. He'd lost his job, was homeless, and had been diagnosed with a serious illness. The man was down bad. But that's when it all clicked.
The drama begins when Bernice Wilson, an unemployed truck driver with a criminal record, spots this 18-wheeler loaded with lumber outside a KFC.
I was homeless and had nowhere to go and couldn't get any help. Thought I could get this truck and go sell the lumber and get me some money.
So for 90 minutes, the guy was tearing through Dallas in an 18-wheeler, waving and honking like he was leading a parade. Hell, he even got high fives from people cheering him on.
Oh, that one guy, he just gave him a high five.
But midway through the pursuit, his plan went up in flames. Meaning now, not only was there a maniac on the loose, but a literal fireball was tearing through the streets of Dallas. And that's when Bernie completely went off the rails.
We had a man who was totally out of control, didn't care what he was doing or who he hurt. We had to stop it.
Cops move in to shoot out his tires. But there's a problem.
Two of the wheels had already blown out and caused a fire. This did not slow down the truck, so we realized that just shooting out the tires on this truck was not going to stop it.
Jesus! This guy's a madman! And it was looking like this could go on forever, until a SWAT team was called in to put an end to the hot pursuit. And ultimately, Bernice was arrested and sentenced to 99 years behind bars. That is nuts! But that's still not as crazy as how one man decided to take the wildest joyride ever in a tank!
35-year-old Sean Nelson steals an M6 military tank from a local armory and takes it on a tour of destruction.
Yeah, see, Sean was living the American dream, but when life started falling apart, he found a different way to put his military training to use.
A man who reportedly had emotional and financial problems got a hold of an army tank last evening and took it on a wild ride through the streets of San Diego, crushing everything in his path.
And on May 17th, 1995, Sean went on a rampage through the streets of San Diego. I mean, things got so ugly that multiple law enforcement units had to step in, including the San Diego Police, California Highway Patrol, and even the military. This man went crazy.
He's running over fire hydrants. You got hydrants that are blowing water in the air.
The tank plows through the neighborhood. The driver hell-bent on destruction.
He's doing these cars on purpose. Oh my God. Yeah, he's rolling over just about anything he wants to.
And just as I got out in the driveway, he ran over my truck. He took out the telephone poles over there and he headed down the street and ran over that blue car right there.
Yeah. And by the end of it all, Sean had done some serious damage, leaving the city with over $1 million in property damage, making it one of the craziest incidents in San Diego history. Damn, now that's tragic. But Marvin Heemeyer was straight up psycho, because when this man got fed up with his small mountain town, he decided to take matters into his own hands with an unstoppable armored bulldozer.
It started just after 3 o'clock on yesterday afternoon. In all, between 10 and 15 buildings were damaged or destroyed, including the town hall, the library, and the newspaper building.
The sheriff in Granby says that Marvin Heemeyer was behind the wheel during a 90-minute rampage in that fortified bulldozer.
See, Marvin was just your average muffler shop owner in Granby, Colorado. But after years of battling with the town over zoning issues that hurt his business, Heemeyer had finally had enough. So he'd go on to spend months transforming a regular bulldozer into an 85-ton armored beast. I'm talking full-blown tank mode, reinforced with concrete walls, bulletproof glass, and even security cameras. And on June 4th, 2004, Heemeyer plowed through Granby, tearing through buildings connected to those he believed wronged him, causing over $7 million in damages. Damn. People of Granby were lucky to make it out alive. That's crazy. But what's even crazier is the story of the Seattle Street Samurai. Cause this man put the entire city on lockdown armed with nothing but sunglasses and a samurai sword. This is Tony Allison, but on April 4th, 1997, he insisted that everyone, including the police, call him Apollo.
Seattle, Washington. An explosive standoff begins when a man brandishes a samurai sword on a downtown sidewalk.
Yeah, It all started when an off-duty cop was alerted by a man waving a sword around ranting about demons and Satan. Which leads us here, the very same spot where he'd remain for the next 11 hours.
Cornered, the man refuses to surrender his weapon without a fight.
And they tried everything. I mean, they tried to bribe him with money, tempt him with Big Macs, and even pulled out the reverse psychology card. But Apollo wasn't having any of it. And as the standoff continued into the day, they had to shut down all the stores, evacuate businesses, and close off every street. Because no matter how many cops and SWAT teams showed up, Apollo stood his ground against anything and everything that came his way.
As night falls, the man still refuses to relinquish his razor-sharp sword. 8 hours have passed, and police must try to disarm him another way. But the man shakes off the tear gas with almost superhuman strength, never releasing his weapon. The SWAT team has one final option: use fire hoses to remove his sword.
Hold up.
Wait a minute.
So you're telling me over 100 cops and a SWAT team couldn't get the job done, but water and a ladder did? Damn, that's just crazy. But not as crazy as the time a passenger plane lost its roof at 24,000 feet. I bet you had no idea that actually happened. And there's a ton of other things you probably didn't know about, like a man who survived 3 plane crashes, or a skydiver whose parachute failed at 4,000 feet in the air. Look, if you want to know what happened, then click this video right here.